Greetings, YouTube. You've probably heard by now that Ellen DeGeneres was chumming around with George W. Bush during a football game, I believe it was. I don't pay attention to sports. And this has caused some consternation amongst her fans and progressives in general. Now, I've been a fan of Ellen DeGeneres for a long time. I thought she was funny when she was just a comedian. I enjoyed her television show, and when she had the bravery to come out both in real life and on her show, I thought that showed a lot of courage on her part. I defended her to people at the time who were upset that what they had seen as just an innocent sitcom had now been perverted by the gay agenda. And one of the people got really upset, like, "Oh, every episode's about being gay now." And I said, if her character had become a cop, would you be bitching about the fact that every episode had her character doing cop things? Of course you wouldn't. She's a cop. Well, her characters come out as being gay. So now there's going to be gay stuff. Get used to it. Some people are gay. I love the fact that she got her own talk show. I thought that was great that we had an outspoken, married gay person out there in the public living their life loud and proud. Great. Then she starts chumming around with a war criminal who actively worked towards getting an amendment passed that would have outlawed same-sex marriage. Now, she's rich and white and powerful. George W. Bush and his ilk aren't going to touch her. She has that privilege. But lots of people didn't. Say, for example, the million Iraqis that are dead thanks to George W. Bush. And the innumerable lives of people in the gay and lesbian community whose lives were made worse by his rhetoric of hatred and bigotry. Now, your privilege protects you, Ellen. It doesn't protect most other people. So, I have completely lost respect for you. Now I realize that the loss of my respect for you probably means nothing to you, as is the loss of anyone's respect for you. You're rich and white. What do you care? But frankly, fuck you, Ellen. You did bad. If you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. And there's no way to shake these off. You've done some horrible harm to the progressives of the world, to the LGBTQ community, by chumming around with a war criminal who is a known bigot and overt homophobe. She made a comment that, I know people who, I'm against fur. I know people who own fur and wear fur. I still get along with them. There were no humans murdered in the production of that fur. No one's civil liberties or human rights were undermined by that fur. Now, I'm not big on the fur industry either. I got to be honest. I don't really mind the leather industry because it's a byproduct of our agricultural sector. But raising animals specifically for fur, I think is kind of twisted. If it's a byproduct, I don't have a problem with it. Use everything. But just fur industry, I don't like them. But people that wear fur are nothing like George W. Bush. And this just isn't a matter of difference of opinion. He actively worked to erase you from history. And his followers would have gladly beat you to death if you hadn't been rich and white. So you're way off base here, Ellen. I'm sorry to see you've done this. And frankly, I'm not really sure if you can make amends here.